Hey,
Hey!
what's up, guys?
Welcome back to Trooper Archives, guys.
Yep, we are back with uh. Well, what are we doing? What are we doing today, Gabe?
Yes, this is kind of off from our official season
Sorry about that.
of. Yeah, no worries. We're kind of going off topic with our current season of A New Hope, and because of the times, we're gonna go with the new show, Andor. Yes. All right. So
Andor,
finally, we're
yeah.
going to be able to talk about it after watching it. Did we watch it last night? Was it last night?
I think we watched it last night.
The
Yeah,
other day. Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Andor has premiered September 21st of this year, and so what do you think, Ace, about the series?
So yeah, okay.
The first
So
episode,
yeah.
at least.
I just wanted to say how I felt before watching in the anticipation of the series. Now, what's good about Andor as a series was I had not to insult the character, but I had low expectations just because I'm a fan of Star Wars because mainly of the Jedi's and their religion and
Sith.
the
Yeah.
Sith and the lightsaber fights and the action. But admittedly, I'm also a big fan of Rogue One and also of the Solo movie, which hardly had any
Yeah.
lightsabers in it. So I had not very high expectations, but I also wanted to expect like a really good series from Disney on this one. How about you?
For me, I really like just like you. I really like the lightsabers. The Force, the concept of it. The Luke, the Skywalker saga in particular. We didn't have a shortage of that. But yeah, when this was released and when this was announced that we're going to have a series for him, Cassian specifically, I kind of expected that it will be just like the other series, like The Mandalorian or The Book of Boba Fett. But then again, when I watched it with you last night or the other day, it was totally different. It was
Complete.
total different, and the foreshadowing nitpicks of the other reactors and the other creators of other articles about the show kept pinpointing on the fact that this is a very political series, which is Star Wars has its own fair share of politics. Don't you know that? And the Star Wars politics I kind of liked. It began in Star Wars: The Clone Wars, wherein we see episodes diving into Senate sessions. It was boring as hell for others, but it was good for me because I really like how, this is the reason why there is war in the galaxy. As we said in the main season in A New Hope in one of the episodes, that we don't just start a war just because someone dislikes someone. There is a very political reason behind it, and I think this is a good series that justifies Rogue One, the movie, and the original trilogy in particular. So
Love it.
yeah,
Let's get into
so
it.
let's dive into it. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So first scene was in Morlana One. All right. So Morlana One, if you don't know, for those who don't know, is the planet that is controlled by the Premor. Was it the corporate? It's a
Corporate,
corpo
yeah,
company.
the
Yeah,
corporate
company.
entity, yeah.
Yeah, so I think it's a company that, for me, because I think I mentioned it while we were watching, that you like how this show doesn't really explain stuff. It's just showing
Yes,
us everything.
right.
Like we don't have any background on the new characters other than Cassian himself, because this is like a prelude to Rogue One. Um, so it is 5 BBY, and we are in Morlana One, the corporate planet, headquarters planet of the Premor corporate. I don't know, to be honest. There's a
We
lot
don't
of
know.
question
We don't know
marks.
yet.
Yeah, we don't know yet. So Notably, in 5BBY, there's a lot of things that happened.
Okay.
One is Ezra from Star Wars: The Rebels joins the Spectres at this time,
Okay.
and Jin Erso was abandoned by Saw Gerrera as a kid.
Oh, she was still very young then. Okay, 5 BBY. Okay, okay.
Yeah, 5BBY. So, I think that's pretty much the nitpick for 5BBY. But so Morlana One, we see. What do you think about the planet as a whole?
We didn't see much of it. It was
It's
basically
definitely not Coruscant.
It's definitely, yeah. Okay, so I was going to say when we first saw it that, hey, this seems like it's Coruscant. I was about to say it, but then it's really not. It has a lot of low-lying structures.
Yeah.
It feels more like the planet in the second which movie was this, where C3PO has his memory wiped. That movie. So it was that planet where C3PO gets his memory erased. Them with the
Oh yeah,
with
yeah. You're talking about the planet in the Rise of Skywalker, I think. Was it?
yes, and where they were translating the dagger. Yeah. So that it
Yeah.
seemed more like that planet. And yeah, it was simple, and I like the way they set the tone with this scene, and how with this star system basically, and just to get things off in a not so subtle way.
Yeah, true. My nitpick for it, I think Morlana One looks like some sort of comfortable Tatooine borderline mini Coruscant.
Tatooine
So
minus
it's
the sand.
Tatooine minus the sand and Coruscant minus the tall buildings. It's just the buildings are very.
Anakin would have loved it here.
Oh yeah, definitely. All right, so we see our main actor, our main character, Cassian, goes into a bar or some sort of bar,
brothel, whatever.
yeah,
Uh-huh.
whatever. Yeah, so he's looking for this girl, from Kenari. So we don't know the planet, or it might be a city at that time. I don't know, but then again, it's stated as a small mid-rim system, so it's a planet. All right, based on research, and Kenari is not that well known. So basically, what do you think about the scene wherein he gets, these two guys? We don't know at the time that they were security officers of the corporation that handles, Morlana One, or that operates in the planet. They were kind of dissing him about, just some random stuff.
I thought it was. We thought it was pretty random. Like they didn't have to start trouble. I mean, from the looks of Cassian, like how he looks like. What did they expect him to have? Like, did they expect him to have a lot of money? Just going into a brothel and
I don't know.
So anyway, so we find out later that he did have some money. Well, this will be a lucky day. And them just getting their asses kicked, and Cassian accidentally killing a guy. I think it was because of the ricochet of the laser. I think. I didn't even see it was so quick. They didn't even show it. Maybe.
Yeah, the fight scene wherein it happened outside the brothel. It was very quick and subtle. It was just, they thought those two. Well, you forgot to mention the girl that entertained Cassian first, basically told that those two dudes are like, you don't want any trouble with them. They're security of the corporation, and it says that, quote unquote, they feel like they're soldiers, but they're not. They act like police, but they're not. They're just security officers.
Tough beat for cops being bad.
Oh yeah, true. All right, at least in Star Wars. So we go back to what you said. It was very quick. I didn't even catch how he killed the guy accidentally. I just thought the guy just got knocked out, and then
But we did see how he
he killed the other guy, the fat dude.
Killed him.
Like
Bang.
the fat dude was even like trying to negotiate for his life.
He was.
But then again,
he was desperate.
yeah, but then again, as a character like Cassian at that time, who wasn't, I think, based on the first episode, wasn't a rebel yet, was this dude might rat me out, and I'll get in more trouble than I am right now. So he just kills the guy without like hesitating. He didn't even like, you could have just like, all right, let's go, and then you just maybe second guess and just killed him then. But no, he just like shot him in the face, man.
His hand wasn't even shaking.
Yeah, I mean, from all the characters in Star Wars that's not a Sith, he's pretty brutal, man. He just shoots people in the face, just like in Rogue One. Spoilers alert if you haven't watched that movie, but I guess you should have.
It explains his behavior in Rogue One, right? Like how he is.
Yeah.
With himself, like he had some baggage with him, and we're seeing it here in this series, in this first conflict. In the first scene of the first episode. Yeah.
To be honest, last nitpick about that, I thought that he already like for me, I thought with his reaction of killing the guy, the last guy, the fat guy. Sorry, I'm not like body shaming people, but that's the only description I can think of. There's no name. But all right, so the only thing I could think of at the moment was Cassian like used to doing this stuff, like killing people, all right?
Yeah.
But then again, we got the reaction like no, it was an accident. Like he can't believe he killed someone. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like it was like it showed us, episode 1 showed us how he became, the Cassian in Rogue One. Just what you said. This is the first time he killed, maybe the first time they killed a person.
Maybe, yeah.
With intention, So he goes back to Ferrix, the planet that he's
he stays in, basically.
Stays in, yeah. So in Ferrix, he talks to this new droid.
I like this guy.
B2EMO. Yeah.
B2EMO.
So
Wally.
so basically
Wally.
Wally. He looks like Wally, man. But it's all right. What do you think about Ferrix first before we go to B2EMO?
So this is where it gets a little westerny for me. So it feels a bit like the opening scene in the Mandalorian series, the first season of the Mandalorian. So it feels like that, but it's more urban, more condensed, more closer to each other. Right away, this exchange with the droid, it seems like he needs to cover up some things, and there's some stories he needs to get straightened out, and he was already thinking about how to have an alibi and how to straighten, how to
true
his current trouble. Yeah.
So what I think is what the show failed to show us is that him escaping Morlana One, because to be honest, when we first watched it, I thought it was the same place.
Okay.
Yeah. But then again, so B2EMO, which is, we'll just call him B, his nickname, is a droid that looks like Wall-E, but he's red, and he has his defensive and offensive capabilities. You see the armor. It's a very weird droid, but then again, Disney, which introduces droids a lot in their shows, ever since they acquired Star Wars, we got BB-8.
Disney
and a lot of droids.
Disney needs the new toys.
But then again, for me as a figure collector, them releasing frequently gets me less into the character. It's like
I understand. Yeah, I
For
understand where you're going
decades,
from.
we only had R2D2 and C3PO. And with those decades, we learned to love them. But for BB-8, we only had two movies in a span of like what, 3 years, 4 years,
Yeah.
and then we get another droid. But anyways, so B,
Who
is
fights
like
off? B fights off a pair of rabid pigs. Yeah.
rabid pig dogs, as I remember.
Whatever those are.
So we now know. Actually, B mentions Cassian's real name. It was Casa,
Casa,
if you
yeah,
remember.
yeah.
Yeah, so I thought it was a nickname at first.
I thought it was yeah, same here. I thought it was a nickname because in British culture, that's
Yeah.
sort of a nickname. Like your name Gabriel would be Gaba or something like that.
Gaba or
So,
something like that. Yeah.
Wayne Rooney
So-
is known as Waza, so I thought it was like a nickname, but apparently it's his real name.
Yeah, and then we go to the flashback
Flashback says that
because mentioning Casa,
yeah, as a real
then-
name, as his original.
real name, yeah. So he has his sister with him, saying his name, Casa. So based on research, his sister's name's Carrie. All right.
Okay. Was that mentioned?
Some
Was it
sort of
mentioned in
like,
the first episode?
I don't think so. It's just like
Wasn't mentioned, right? Okay.
no mention, based on research. So we see, assuming this is Kenari, Cassian's home planet, we see their culture and then a ship crashing in the distance, you know. And
It gave me a little bit of Lord of the Flies vibe, having no
Mhm.
adult supervision wherever.
oh yeah, true, or Peter Pan,
Or
you
Peter
know,
Pan, Lost
and the
Boys,
Lost
right.
Boys, yeah. So I wonder what happened to the adults. And you know, my nitpick when we were watching, I told you that it gave us that South American, you know, Amazonian vibe.
Right, yeah. Like more
You know?
Amazonian jungle
Yeah.
feel to it.
Yeah, jungle feel. So again, so we cut again the flashback, and then we see Cassian. We're back at the present, and then Cassian goes to his friend Brasso. All right, so we see he goes to this kind of workplace where there's a lot of gloves in the wall. You know, I really like the aesthetics of the show. It was very detailed. Knowing that this show used less CGI, less green screen, gives me, you know, it kind of gives us a new feel with, you know, the Star Wars as a whole.
I like the less CG things.
Yeah. Minus the, you know, ships and, you know, space scenes, because you can't really film that. All right, so what do you think about, you know, Brasso and the alibi, as I call it?
I love the scene. I love this dialogue between them. And what we can all conclude here was that Cassian is not an asshole. He's not a bad guy. He has these bonds, existing relationships that he has
Oh, yeah.
with Brasso, and this Brasso guy is willing to you know, lie and to fabricate this
Oh,
story
yeah.
to keep Cassian from getting into trouble, whatever that trouble may be. So he has these established bonds with other characters.
Yeah, it's like a no questions asked type of deal. But yeah, so I like this scene just because I think I agree with you with that. But you know, you see how nervous he is, you know?
He's
We
worried
don't
as hell.
yeah, he's worried about him being arrested, you know. And so we go back to the scene wherein after that, so the takeaway for me for that scene is where his friend Brasso actually makes up the story on how he got the injury. You know, it was really good. You know, it was really good. Fantastic. So we go back to Morlana One. All right.
the corporate scene. Yeah.
Yeah, so we get introduced to this young officer, Syril Karn. All right, who to me actually gives off a Star Trek vibe.
Ah, that's a
Um,
good one. Yeah, that's right.
yeah, it gives a yeah,
Super, a super. What do you call Vulcan? He's a little Vulcan in
yeah,
him.
yeah.
Yeah.
I never watched Star Trek, but it gives me Star Trek vibes. So shout out to the Star Trekkie fans there. Um, all right, so we get introduced to Cyril Karn, and he's talking to a higher up about a murder of two of his officers.
Right.
And then the higher up just says, "Oh, I know the other dude. They might have just like they
Not a
might have angered the wrong person, and they got killed." So
I
it was
think
just like,
yeah, what I'm getting from this scene is that the supervisor, the superior officer, is just. I think what he's saying is that I see the big picture here, and it's not worth for us digging deeper into this. So just let it go, man. Just let it go.
the officer, or what was it called? Just the higher officer wanted to cover up because he was going into an imperial hearing or something, or like an
Meeting,
evaluation committee.
a boardroom meeting or something.
Yeah, like a boardroom meeting with the Imperials,
Very
which
corporate.
he very corporate, where he will report, the overall status of violence and crime within, the system. And I guess, as a corporation, you don't want the empire monopolizing the industry and getting rid of the private sector. You know this. In real life, it gives off, in real life, that's how it works, how the government and private corporations work together, to have a win-win situation, if you get what I mean.
Yep.
So, but this guy who's like not top management, not even maybe high management, maybe like middle management, Cyril Karn disobeys the order and still tries to found out and investigate about Cassian. Well, he's not known yet.
He's one of those annoying straight A students. I mean,
Oh yeah.
not all straight A students are annoying, but this guy has to be one of those guys.
Yeah, true. So anyways, we go back to Ferrix, wherein Cassian pays Bix, the woman mechanic, her friend, in a shop where he's trying to sell off this imperial technology, or as it based in research, an untraceable NS9 star path unit. So according to research, this particular technology can be used to track the imperial fleet undetected.
Okay.
So Bix has some communication with a buyer of this particular technology, and we get to see who this buyer is in the next episodes that we're going to talk about. But yeah, so Bix wants to sell. Bix contacts, tries to is convinced and tries to contact the buyer, as they call it. So we go back to the flashback. So the children, the oldest of the children, the batch in Kenari, yeah, they were doing like tribal stuff, and I thought, to be honest with you, the staff, I thought it's gonna like, in Thor, where in the staffs like shoot laser beams, but then again, it's just like, yeah. So you'll see what it does. Guys, we'll talk about it in the next episodes. But yeah, so it was just they went on a mission to go to the wreckage. All right.
Yep.
And Cassian was, you see how young he was, and he wasn't even included in the circle, except for that I think the oldest gal who was
Yeah,
like
like
the tribe leader. I don't know.
she's like the acting leader or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe of the children. He may be a female Peter Pan of the Lost Boys,
Yeah,
but
something like that.
yeah. So yeah, you can come. So he does like this, tries to imitate the older children, and yeah. All right, so we go back to. It was a very fast paced series, to be honest. It was like 39 minutes, 38, 39 minutes. We go back to there was a bulletin sent out about because the scene shows that the woman in the brothel rats out that it's a Kenari male.
Yeah.
If you didn't see, so we
Yeah,
have a lead,
he-
sir.
He knows what the story is, so obviously they got the information from the brothel.
All right, another nitpick about this scene is that it starts out with a guy eating blue noodles.
Oh yeah, that's right. The blue noodles. We were like,
Yeah.
blue. It's blue.
It's blue noodles. All right, it's good. I mean, I saw. I think it was X Clips. Shout out to X Clips. He kind of, or Bombastic Clips. I forgot. He kind of, it's not Star Wars until they could have just placed normal noodles, but it had to be blue.
Blue has to be blue.
It has to be blue. With blue milk, you have to have blue noodles. It's official, guys. Blue stuff, blue food is a Star Wars, thing.
Blue
in
is
the-
blue
in
is
the
edible.
universe,
As opposed
Blue is
to
edible.
Earth,
Yeah.
as opposed to Earth.
I mean, blue.
Earth food.
Even in real life, blue cheese is not really that blue.
Yeah, that's right.
But this, he was like eating blue, and if you didn't notice, it was in a takeout container. Like
Oh,
they
the
were living
paper-
in New
the-
York.
Yeah, that's right.
It's a Chinese takeout. The order of blue noodles,
Order
and then
some Blue Panda Express.
yeah. But yeah, so it was good. It was good. It was a very good detail that they added. So the bulletin is released, and he is wanted. Cassian is not him specifically, but a Kenari male is now wanted by the Corpos. And we go back to Ferrix. All right, we're in. Cassian is confronted by another character, Nurchi, and an Urodal named
I love this
Vetch.
scene.
So the Urodal species is first shown in Star Wars Force Awakens. All right, so it was first shown there in the Disney Star Wars. It wasn't present. The species wasn't present in Lucas's Star Wars, but it was really good. I mean, he wasn't intimidated. He knew what he was doing. The money's still in play. That's what he said. The money's still in play. You can't do this to me. You can't just think, Vetch. Did you know about this? Oh, I only agreed to just stand here.
He just
And he
standing
was
and
just
stand
like-
behind you.
For intimidation.
I love it. I love it.
I mean, I love how Cassian knew what they were doing and how he just, guys, I'm just gonna forget about this whole thing. I'm gonna give you your money back. He's kind of a smuggler /type scoundrel, or
Yeah, there's a very Han
scavenger.
Solo vibe going
Yeah,
on there.
true.
Yeah.
All right, so Bix leaves to run errands. Tim, who was his boyfriend, who was British, he had a British accent. So,
Right.
guys, British accent, American accent, whatever accent it is, it doesn't matter where they live in Star Wars.
That's right. Yeah.
So I guess they don't have any explanation for that. But so one nitpick is to contact the buyer. He goes to this like shop and he told, I'm gonna buy a bend line mesh tech filter. That is a signal of, that is a code wherein he's going to use the hidden communicative device to contact the buyer from off-world.
Okay.
All right, so a nitpick for that, the bend line tech filter is from an XR-12 spacecraft. During
What is
the
that?
time of the Galactic, it's a spacecraft during the time of the Galactic Republic, and one of those ships, the Satellite Liberator, which was an XR-12 spacecraft, was seen. It ended up with Watto on Tatooine and his junk shop.
Oh, and Watto. Okay.
Yeah. So, all right. So we go back to what do you call this? The flashback. All right. So we see how they stumbled upon. They were continuing the journey to the wreckage, and then we see a young Cassian look into the Imperial mining operation. It's like the terraces from Banawe, but
Yeah,
it's
right.
mining,
It's mine, but
which
it's
was
barren.
kind of hard.
Just
It's
for
barren, and I
rock.
think for me, my nitpick with it was I think it um it tells us what happened to the adults.
Okay. Okay.
So I don't know
Does
if they
it?
were enslaved, killed.
Or
I think I
yeah.
made an assumption that they were enslaved to do this. I mean, who, they're just children. Where's the adults? Why
Where
are
are the
they going
adults?
after the wreckage?
That's right.
Why are they like even like female? In olden times, wherein men go out and then the female remains in the tribe.
Yeah.
But then again, this tribe only has children, which doesn't explain the whole thing. Where are the
Means,
adults?
the women as well are also where the men are. So it's kind of
Yeah.
we don't know. We don't know. So
We don't know
yeah.
yet. So I think that's pretty much it. So what do you think about the episode 1 of Andor?
Yeah. So with that ending, so it's basically more questions, which I think is a really good first episode. It gives you the groundwork, but lays
Yeah.
out like a path that you don't know where it leads yet. So I have
True.
more questions
True.
from this episode, and I'm anticipating and it wants you to watch the next episode. So I think
That
it's
is tough.
fairly good first episode for this series.
I mean, Disney actually released 3, episodes that we're going to also have a breakdown episode for episodes 2 and 3. But for me, this episode actually bombarded us with a lot of information, which, as you said, lays in the groundwork for the series as a whole. Because we know that this series will have 2 seasons, confirmed 2 seasons, and has 12 episodes each. So it's gonna be a long series, but if you haven't watched it, guys, please do watch it in Disney Plus. It is out right now, and a new episode 4, will be shown next week. Was it October? Let me check the calendar. No, September 29th, as I recall. But yeah, please watch out for the next 2 episode breakdowns. Thank you for watching, guys. Follow us on TikTok at Trooper Archives. Of course, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Trooper Archives, and ring that notification bell for you to get notified about new episodes. And any final words, Ace?
No, just thanks to everyone for watching, and see you in the next episode. Everything we do for the rebellion.
Yes. All right. See you guys.
Bye, guys.